The shiur is dedicated L'Zecha Nishmas Rachaleya Bas Rav Chaim Tzvi. We had been examining Perek Chafei of Yirmiyahu, or up to Perek Chavav. Again, another very significant Perek that examines the attempt on the part of very distinguished individuals, seemingly, Kohanim and Naviim, and joined by the ranks of Am Yisrael to Rahman Litzlan, get rid of Yirmiyahu Navi. Let's first read the Perek and then examine some of the major elements that are found in this particular Perek. The Perek actually begins Chavav Bereshis Mamluchusio Yokim ben Yoshio Melech Yehuda Haya Davar Hazeh Meis Hashem Leimor. The Perek speaks about the beginning of Yehoiakim's reign, and Rashi already points out that the previous chapter Chafei, took place in the 4th year of Yehoiakim's reign, where this particular Perek Chavav, in effect, begins at the outset of the reign of Yehoiakim. We of course have the principle that Rashi elucidates throughout Tanakh, a mukdam u'meucha b'mikra. There's no chronological order necessarily in the Mikra, and therefore here we have a Perek that in reality precedes Perek Chafei, but here the Navi describes in a very striking way what he told Klal Yisrael b'chatzar Beis Hashem. Let's read the Psukim. In Pasuk Beis, the Navi is given the following mandate: Ko amar Hashem, Amoy b'chatzar Beis Hashem. He's told to stand in the Chatzar Beis Hashem. V'dibarta al kol arei Yehuda haboyim lishtachavav Beis Hashem. Of course, we're talking about people who come to be mekayim the mitzvah of Aliyah L'Regel, and we know the Psukim in Chumash, Shalosh Pam Bashana Yeruah Kol Zechurcha, as Pnei Hashem Elokecha, the Mishnah in Chagiga, the obligation to appear in the Azara, the Beit Hamikdash. And so here we have the opportunity to speak to the assemblage of Klal Yisrael, and interestingly enough, the language is Haboyim Lishtachavos Beis Hashem. We've often had reference to this as well, the distinction between the Beit Hamikdash, where the posture is one of Ishtachava. We see this from the Psukim in Parshas Kisavo, where the Torah mentions the mitzvah Bikurim. It tells us Vishtachavisa l'vnei Hashem Elokecha, the obligation to bow down before Hashem Yisbarach. And we pointed out that this is based on the concept of Meir Mikdash, a sense of fear, Mikdash Shitiro, that overrides the Makam HaMikdash. And therefore, that sense of fear generates Hishtachava. Beside the fact that Chazal tell us, Ein Yeshiva Ba'azara, El Malchei Beis David Bilvad. Yeshiva in the Azara can only be undertaken by people who are Malchei Beis David. And this is in sharp contradistinction to a Beit HaKnesses, to a shul, where the posture is Dafka Yeshiva. The Rambam writes in Hilchos Tefillah, the Rambam says, Shah Yeshiva Sham Me'iske HaMitzvahi, that sitting in the Beit Knesses, that exactly is the mitzvah. Shenema Ashri Yoshvei Secha. Happy are those. The Rambam interprets Yoshvei not the way many Rishonim interpret. Happy are those who dwell, but rather happy are those who sit. Literally, Hayeshiva Meiske HaMitzvahi. And the reason for the distinction between the Beit Hamikdash and the Beit Knesses, explained the Rav Soloveitchik Zechariah L'Bracha, that the Beit Knesses is considered to be our home. Rebbeinu Shalom comes to visit there. We are miyushavim. We sit there. We are the balabatim, as it were. The Gemara says in Brachas in the first Perek, Hashem comes to Beit Knesses and there's no minyan. He becomes upset. Madua basi v'ein yishka rasi v'ein eineh. And therefore, we are the balabatim. Hashem comes to visit, as it were, in contradistinction to the Beit Hamikdash, which is the home of Hashem Yisbarach. He's the Balabayis. Mi bikei zos mi yedchem remos chatzeroi, says the Navi. And therefore, we are the ones who come to visit. We are the Mevakrim Behecholo, and that's why the posture there is not based on COVID, which is the overwhelming and overriding ethos and tone of a Beis HaKnesset, but rather the posture is one of Meir Midrash, the Gemara, in the first Perek of Yevamis. So this is embedded in the language here, in Pasuk Beis. Kol ma Hashem, Amay b'chatzah Beis Hashem, v'dibarto kol over Yehuda aboyim l'shtachavot Beis Hashem, es kol advorim asher tzivi sichel l'daber aleim, al tigra davar. And this is a very fascinating mention, al tigra davar, that we know there's a law in the Torah, a bal teisiv, bal tigra, not adding to the mitzvahs, not detracting from the mitzvahs. And here the Navi is told, Al Tigra Davar. The Navi is told to articulate exactly what Hashem is Barach has indicated him